Just as the CEO was about to reach out and touch his ex-girlfriend's face, the bodyguard standing nearby could no longer contain the jealousy burning inside him, and swiftly reached up to stop the CEO's hand. Gazing at the bodyguard who cared for her so deeply, the woman finally confirmed that he was the very man who had appeared in her dreams every single night. It turned out that the two had fallen madly in love with each other 5 years prior, only for both of them to lose all their memories in a devastating car accident. In the years that followed, the woman dreamed of a mysterious man every night. At first, she was convinced this man was the CEO she'd grown up with since childhood, so she set aside her status as a top A-list female celebrity and insisted on signing with the CEO's company. But just as she thought this would be a wonderful surprise for the CEO, she discovered that he had long been carrying on a secret affair with his secretary behind her back. The revelation left the woman completely broken in an instant. Instead of storming in to confront him, however, she turned on her heel and left without hesitation, making a firm vow to never have any contact with the CEO for the rest of her life. She immediately contacted her assistant to find her a personal bodyguard. But the very next day, when the woman laid eyes on her new bodyguard, she was stunned to find he looked exactly like the man from her dreams, and the shock made her jump. The bodyguard simply caught her falling phone steadily with one hand, then introduced himself. But the woman was only fixated on learning his name. In response, the bodyguard suddenly took hold of her hand, and used the lipstick she was holding to write down his name. The gesture sent a jolt of familiarity through her in an instant, so she hired him on the spot and brought him with her to the film set right away. But once they arrived, the director told her that the show's male lead had suddenly disappeared, bringing the entire production to a grinding halt. Just as the director was at a complete loss for what to do, the bodyguard stepped forward and offered to take over the male lead's role. At first, both the woman and the director were skeptical, but to their shock, the moment the bodyguard stepped on set, he exuded an innate noble aura, as if he was born to play this male lead role. The woman was utterly astonished by what she saw. What no one knew was that the bodyguard was in fact the heir to the world's richest man, born with inherent nobility and status. He'd lost his memory in that same car crash 5 years ago, and when he'd woken up, the only thing he'd had with him was a photo of the woman. That was why he'd disguised himself as a bodyguard to come to her side. Unexpectedly, their perfect on-screen chemistry sparked a frenzy of discussion among everyone on set. When the CEO learned what had happened, he flew into a panic, still hoping to pretend to be deeply in love and keep the woman by his side. Little did he know, the woman, who had already learned the truth about his affair, had long made up her mind to stay far away from him. Just as she was racking her brain for an excuse to leave, her bodyguard appeared right at the office door.